I'm Bob Bonnet. I was president of the 610 Union Avenue Condo Association for the past 4 years, and at the time of me taking on responsibility of the Condo Association, we discovered that we had a number of structural defects and operational issues that we needed to take care of with the developer. There were several structural defects. The major ones were our elevators were not properly fitted and set correctly, and we had to go through some massive repair in aligning them. We kept on having issues with people getting stuck in the elevator, weight constraints and issues with that, as well as just the massive one was the parking spaces that are down below that were just structurally and architecturally defective. I mean, that they could not be used for anything because of just the way the driveway and the space that was allotted for each of the parking spaces was created. What they assisted us with is providing us the most economical recommendation, direction as to how to move forward with a complaint with the least amount of cost associated with that. Essentially, we're a 19-unit building. We've had a number of units that have been either in foreclosure or in short sale due to the economy, so therefore it has a significant impact on sort of revenue for us, and obviously we needed to work out the situation with the developer who was unresponsive to our direct contact with them, and we needed an attorney that could help us with that. And Adams Group allowed us to, make the most economical decision based on, options that his team had provided, and that was through going through the Attorney General and going through more of a grassroots effort on our side to develop the complaint and have Adams' team work with us to facilitate that complaint through the Attorney General's office. John Desiderio and Lenny, both were very instrumental. Obviously, Lenny was the primary source of our information and the communication, and she remained in really amazing communication with us throughout the entire process. It was a lengthy 2-year process in which, again, the Attorney General had transitioned many times to different associate Attorney Generals, and Lenny really kept up with ensuring that our complaint was heard and was being processed in the appropriate amount of time. What they provided us was, again, they provided us the communication finally with the developer for getting a final, some initial response, and then also getting the attention of the Attorney General to allow us to plead our case and complaint to them, indicating the defects that were in the building were substantial and worthy of some sort of compensation or some sort of resolution to the issues that we've had. All the issues have been resolved, with obviously the exception of the structural defect of the parking spaces at this point. We will be eventually just turning that into storage, but for the most part it was just mainly just trying to resolve all issues and dissolving the relationship with the developer who had ownership still within the community, and also not paying the charges associated with that. I mean, again, the work, the team, his team was extremely, again, diligent in providing us options, follow up, follow through with, exactly what our needs were, immediately reacted to our decisions when it was necessary to make the appropriate decisions and actions, and again, continue to really follow up with both the developer and the Attorney General where appropriate. And again, when we were able to come to a final conclusion and resolution, they were immediately responsive to getting all of the paperwork and transfer documents available and ready for transition. I've talked to a number of buildings in the area and in the just in the Brooklyn community that have these significant issues, and they have not seen the results as we have with the lawyers or the attorney firms that they have been dealing with. Actually, I just spoke with someone last night about our issue, and it was quite surprising that they are probably about the same size, but the Attorney General would not even look at their complaint, and I think it was just due to Adam's influence and again reputation within the community that allowed us to move forward with our complaint and just ensure that the complaint that we had processed and allowed, again, that we had created was thorough, and as well that was presented to the Attorney General. I think for most, again, this seems to be a continuing struggle with new buildings within the Brooklyn area. I'm not sure about the Manhattan area, but obviously within this community that I live in, and all the new developments that I've heard, I've just heard constant concerns and issues that people have with that, and I would strongly recommend that they reach out to Adam's group and to really identify whether that the opportunity that your team can provide probably would provide them the most benefit for the, I wouldn't say the most economic cost, but again, the best direction that they can with the situation that they're in.